Slide all the way down to the bottom of the table till you feel like you're almost falling off. Perfect. Okay, so just relax knees to the sides a little bit. Cold and pressure.
Okay.
How you doing?
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, so you can see exactly what's going on up on the screen up there. That's your uterus. It looks wonderful. A perfect baby cave.
Yay!
For when and if. Now you decide that you're gonna use it for that purpose. Okay, so we're gonna now go over to your right ovary. So I'm seeing about 8 little fluid-filled sacs. And then on the left ovary, I see about 6 follicles over there on the left side. There's a great example of one you can see right there on the screen. See that? Where I'm putting my little green marker. That is a follicle, and it looks fantastic. So we like to see more than 10, that's what we like to see, and the lab results are gonna inform our information even more about really what your egg quantity is and sort of what we would expect to get if you were to move forward with egg freezing.
Awesome.
And here's another picture.
Yay.
Souvenir of the tour of your pelvis here. So we got a picture of the right.
I think you just named the episode.
Exactly.
This is a probe. It's used in transvaginal ultrasounds to take pictures of your uterus. This is my uterus, and these are my follicles. Follicles are probably the word I've heard most throughout this process. They're basically undeveloped or immature eggs.
Hi, how are you? Good, thank you. You can come follow me to the lab. Okay.
Our body selects a few eggs every month to be released from the ovaries, but they don't start out fully formed. They rely on hormones to develop, and we can measure those hormones to get a sense of how many eggs we have left with blood tests like the anti-Mullerian hormone test and the follicle-stimulating hormone test. Every month, our body selects a few follicles to mature. Our brains, by way of the pituitary gland, releases the follicle-stimulating hormone into our bloodstream, which tells our ovaries to stimulate or grow follicles, just like the name says. If you have a lot of follicles left, the hormone doesn't have to work very hard, so hormone levels are low. But if your follicle count is dwindling, the hormone has to yellow your ovaries to get things going, resulting in a high level of FSH in your bloodstream. Follicles themselves also produce hormones, and one of them is the anti-Mullerian hormone. So the more AMH in your bloodstream, the more follicles you have. Basically, by getting these tests, my doctor can get a really good sense of how many eggs I have left and what my reproductive lifespan is. I won't get my results for about a week, but I talked to my friend Lindsay right after my appointment. She's my partner on this project and was behind the camera during my ultrasound.
Yeah, you look great.
I never thought in a million years that I would be witnessing anybody's ultrasound but my own. I know, it's crazy. But how are you feeling after all of that? I feel like it was just kind of a whirlwind of tests.
I was totally freaking out before and super stressed about us shooting this and like having it on camera. But now I honestly think I'm more nervous about getting my results back. I feel like this is when things really get personal and really get like...
It's a little bit crazy because when we go in to get your results, you're gonna get numbers that tell you what's going on inside your body. And so I don't know, I'm just worried that you are gonna feel really affected by the numbers that you get at this next session with Dr. Devine. You can't go back to being in the dark, and I think sometimes it's really nice to not know. Are you sure you wanna find out these numbers?
I definitely wanna know. It is scary, but I also think that's because it's new. Like, I don't have any friends that have done this before. And, you know, if I get some not so great news, it's easy to think that I did something wrong or that something's wrong with my body or...
Right, you kind of blame yourself for those things.
Yeah, you blame yourself and you agonize over these kinds of things. There's so many women who don't talk about their fertility or infertility or test results, and not having an experienced shoulder to lean on is scary to me.
Usually, when women are 29, I'm telling them, you should wait. However, given that your ovarian reserve is a little bit below average, to preserve some fertility would be reasonable as well. So we like to see your FSH level less than 12, and yours was 10.6. It's a little bit on the borderline, but it's good. And so then the last marker of ovarian reserve is called anti-Mullerian hormone. So we like to see that one greater than or equal to 1, and yours was 0.9. It is lower than average for someone of your age. And so
Dr. Devine basically just told me that my ovarian reserve is severely low for my age. And for AMH in particular, my levels are even lower than most 35-year-old women.
I came in having higher hopes because of the antral follicle count.
You know, if this is something that's really, really important to you, I think it's a reasonable thing for you to do, but it depends on your own personal priorities.
This means it could take twice, maybe 3 times as much time, money, and cycles of hormones to get enough eggs. That's a lot to take in.
I can't change my fertility. I can't change how many eggs I have left. I can't change whether or not that's going to be an issue later in life. The only thing I'm in control of is what I do with the information I have. I haven't talked to my parents yet, and I don't know how they're gonna feel about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure they want grandkids, but how we get there is a family conversation. I've learned a lot so far, and this is just the beginning.
Coming up in episode 3.
Every time she gets pregnant, I'm formulating names.
God knew the desire of my heart. That was to be a mother.
I don't really think I was allowed to grieve because I had to support her.